Week 2 of the fall season is here, so that means it's week 2 of the AD podcast. Keith Pantling's here with us. Good morning, Keith. How are we doing this morning?
We're doing awesome Monday morning after our first big weekend, and it was a fun one. Now we're dealing with the heat. Turn the page. We got a busy week, so here we go.
You know, isn't it nice that the first week of the official fall season, the weather was so nice last week? It just made things a lot easier, didn't it?
It sure did. It's always good to be able to kind of just worry about the logistics of our events and things, kind of get the rust off in that regard and not have lightning delays and other things on top of it. So now we'll worry about that the next couple of weeks, I'm sure.
It's usually a week 2 thing with the lightning delays on Friday night. I looked at the weather this morning. It doesn't look like that's the case. Fingers crossed. But let's, you know what? You guys had a huge win Friday night. Let's start with football.
Yeah, it was an awesome night to be a Warrior, to say the least. From our cheerleaders to the band to the war zone, the kids all out there, just kind of that neighborhood rivalry with a bordering community. We in the G-Walk spent so much time battling with Springboro and haven't beat them since 2011. And just an awesome night. I'll be honest, me personally, I was a little bit concerned going into the game, right? We lost so much in the trenches in terms of offensive line and senior leadership, and
Sure.
Starting a sophomore quarterback, and a lot of people are first time in different positions, but I knew we had a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball, and sure enough, man, they just played a great game, believed in themselves going into halftime. And the second half, I think Springboro had a lot of kids playing both ways, and that I think that kind of helped us in that second half to just kind of keep our foot on the gas and come out with the victory. But it was so happy for Coach, the staff, all the hard work they put in, the captains, the leadership they provided all off season to cap it off with a big opening win was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's a great start to the week 1 in the fall season when football gets off on the right go. Let's switch gears to girls volleyball. Nice 3-0 win against Springboro on Saturday.
Yeah, and talking with the coaches and even some of the girls on the team, we know the names Lily Bolin and Maya White. And I talked about last week just finding some others to step up and kind of give us that, consistency across the board to where we're really deep. And the names that were brought up were Lydia Watson, and then sophomores Ava Long and Madison Kyle, just really stepping in and allowing us to continue to perform at that high level that we're used to in Lebanon volleyball. So big week coming up, but they're right there to start things off with a clean sweep of Springboro is really, really huge. So I'm looking forward to catching them my first time here on Tuesday night in our gym.
Sounds very exciting. Let's talk about the golf teams. It seems like they, weather permitting, they're playing almost every day.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. The boys are actually out of school today, out at the Springboro Invitational. And then the girls have a really, really big week this week. So they're at Little Miami today in the afternoon, and then they host Anderson on Wednesday. Both of those teams are atop the ECC standings, and we have a really, really good team this year. As I had mentioned, Coach Russell believes it's her best ever. And right out the gate, like you said, they're playing every day, and they got some big ones this week in terms of conference standing. So good luck to them. And the boys, mentioned them at Springboro. They also have Kings on Wednesday. So right out of the gate, here we go. So there's no easing into it for that sport.
It'll be a hot week for golf, but at least it's not raining and there's thunderstorms, so it's some good weather to play golf. Let's switch to cross country. Both teams look like they get things started this weekend.
Yeah, so on Friday night, they are off to the Sunset Invite over at in Morrow at Oder Lake. So we talked about last week, just excited for them to finally get in a race, kind of see where we're at. Their training is just out of this world in terms of what Coach Bierkin has them doing. So I know they're excited to compete, having to talk to some of them, and we'll see how things shake out on Friday, but excited for them to get the season started.
Yeah, that's great. How about girls tennis? The latest on girls tennis, Keith?
4 straight matches this week in that heat. So we'll see what happens. But so they have today they host Centerville, and then they're at Little Miami, at Edgewood, and then they host West Claremont on Thursday, which is supposed to be a really, really hot day. So we'll see what shakes out, what adjustments need to be made. But just like golf, this is the heart of their season once you get into late August. So it's a sprint for sure. 4 straight days after school, they're out there competing.
Yeah, let's switch gears to the soccer teams. Looks like it's kind of been a 50-50 last week on results, but looks like they're playing well, both teams.
Yeah, really proud of the boys team on Saturday night, earning a draw with Springboro. Springboro's a perennial power. They have such a good soccer program, and our kids just battled. I thought from a schematic standpoint, their body language, their demeanor, their just out there competing. As I mentioned last week, losing 14 seniors. Not too sure what to expect, and Coach Aaron just has them kind of galvanized, believing in themselves and playing really, really hard. So we've yet to put one in the net, but we have a 1-0 loss and then a 0-0 draw against a very good Springboro team. But as you know, it doesn't get much easier. We got Carroll this week and then Milford.
Right.
So it's a gauntlet. We'll see
Yes.
how we'll do. But very happy with the way things are going so far. And then girls soccer, just kind of trying to find their identity right now. Lost some leadership. Mia Tedesco got an ACL injury, so she's now out for the year, a senior. So shifting things around, trying to find their identity, their place. That's what the non-conference is for. We played Springboro and Bellbrook, and now we get into the start of our ECC play. So I know they're working on some things to try to right the ship here early in the season.
That sounds great. I know you're excited about having your first football game Friday night. Let's tell the fans how they can get tickets, just anything related to helping the fans make an easy transition to get to the stadium to cheer on the Warriors.
Yeah, so our pre-sale tickets are $8. They're at LebanonWarriors.com. I would recommend getting them pre-sale. They're $10 if you buy cash at the gate. Also, the pre-sale, we're going to have a speed line. This year is going to be a little bit different. The north entrance to the stadium by the turnstile on the other side of the field house there will be open just for scanning pre-sale tickets. So if you have a pre-sale, you can get in nice and quick on that side of the field house. And then we do still have the cash option, obviously, but things get a little backed up there. So we just encourage you to buy ahead of time. Also, the boosters at our box office on LebanonWarriors.com, booster members have the access to a parking pass. So that first third of the parking lot closest to the field house and stadium entrance is blocked off for handicap and reserve parking, those that have a booster parking pass. So encourage you to join the boosters for $25, and then you have access to that parking pass, which is very convenient on Friday nights.
Sounds great. That's all super information, Keith, for your fans. Best of luck to all the teams this week competing, whether it's non-league or ECC play. We'll touch base this time next week to update the fans on how things went in week 2.
Appreciate you checking in, Rob. Go Warriors.
Have a great week, Keith. All the best to all the Warriors. Have a great week.
You too.